My name is Michael Clancy. I am an urban missionary here in the city of Lebanon. I work for Eastern Mennonite Missions, giving myself and the work that God has called me to the city of Lebanon, especially in the area of transition from men coming out of prison or programs where they just don't really know where they fit in. And I just like to come alongside and help them merge in that area because I've come from that and I understand that and I can relate. This video is going to show 3 aspects of that ministry and how I come alongside of other ministries and complement the work that they're doing so that men can live lives in Christ Jesus and know that transforming power of the gospel. Jim March, such a dear friend of mine. I met him in 2008 at Jubilee Ministries, and our lives just constantly crossed. Because of our relationship over these years, he trusts me, he brings me in, and I get to teach these men and share the love of God, the hope that Christ can transform a life.
Mike has been leading a worship service once a month for, 15 years maybe here in Lebanon, but the Bible studies are new. And I will say that I'm a little protective of my Bible studies in the prison, and I really don't ask people to take them. I like to have them, but I like what Mike does in the prison. I wanted to have him more involved if he wanted to do that, and so Mike comes 2 days a week and leads Bible study for 3 different housing areas. Mike generally starts out with a kind of let's get to know each other, just talking about whatever, having a little fun with the guys, and then just naturally flows right into his Bible teaching. And Mike is very practical and can talk to the guys where they are because he's been there. When the guys talk to me about Mike, that's one of the things they always say. Mike understands, Mike knows us, and we know what he's talking about when he teaches.
When people ask me, what's the thing that gives you the most energy? What is this thing that you love most? It's going into Lebanon County Correctional Facility. As a volunteer for Jubilee Ministries, I get to go into ground zero to this place that I am so familiar with because I used to sit in these seats. I know what it's like to be hopeless and then to have the hope of Jesus Christ come into your heart so that I'm able to give back in this area that I once was. I remember Mark Schaefer. He used to come into my Bible study, used to sit at the table. He was a student of the Lebanon Rescue Mission. Not long after that, he graduated from the program. Not long after that, he became staff and was so energized by him becoming staff because our lives parallel because of what God has done in our lives, coming from addictions, coming from streets, graduating programs, and then giving our lives back to these programs that we once graduated from.
Mike has a great gift of taking a man and really doing elbow-to-elbow discipleship with them. And what I mean by that is Mike invests in guys' lives. He shows them that they're wanted, they're needed, and that they're capable of doing great things when they surrender their hearts to God. Mike knows that because Mike's a guy that came from a past and has a testimony, and the realness that Mike shares with us helps us to believe that God can change our lives. He has long suffering with the men. A lot of times in the work that him and I do, men will fall. Not everybody gets it the first time. Mike has become a safe spot for those guys who do relapse and fall to return to. Mike opens his arms, invites them into conversation, and helps them find their way back to the path.
When I think about the Lebanon Rescue Mission, I think about the students. I think about the students' love for Jesus. I think about how being able to go into the Lebanon Rescue Mission every week, seeing these men a couple times a week, and how we build this community, how we build this relationship, how we become almost like family and just intimately get to know these guys. The big thing that I love is like when somebody's going through something and then afterwards they just pull me to the side and you sit at the table and you begin to talk, and then you get this opportunity to do life with these men. So I met Sean about 2 years ago at Lebanon County Correctional Facility. He was in a Bible study and I was teaching. It wasn't long after that he got out of prison and we interacted, we met, we started doing things. He asked me to mentor him. I began mentoring him, discipling, doing life together. That discipleship relationship turned into a really good friendship.
So I asked Mike Clancy to be my mentor because I was watching how he lived his life and how he walked, and he just really emulated Christ in his actions. He had something that I wanted. I had a deep love for God, but I didn't know how to carry this out because I was never really involved in churches. I was never really involved in Christian ministry or anything like that. He's just an amazing friend, pastor, and a great teacher. He's led me through a lot of things.
So I was discipled. A man came along and walked with me. Now I get the beautiful opportunity to come and walk alongside of Sean. And not only that, but now after 2 years of walking alongside of Sean, I see Sean now discipling somebody. So disciples make disciples who make disciples. It wouldn't be possible without Jesus Christ in our lives. Thank you so much for coming alongside of me, for watching, for listening. These 3 aspects of my ministry. I am so humbled by what these men have said about my life, about the call that God has given me. Without your support, without your prayer, without your partnership, our family couldn't do this. So we are just so grateful. The Clancy family, Deborah, Lydia, Nora, and myself, just want to thank you. Would you consider partnering? Would you consider missionary work here in the city of Lebanon?